Hello, and welcome to the Journal for December 15th, 2011. I'm Matt White.
And I'm Stanley Patrao. We got a great show for you today, as this will be our final episode of 2011.
That's right, Stanley. Taekwondo fighters, piano composers, broken pencils, campus opportunities, and the end of the world?
We also have tumors and groovers, psychics, stringing guitars, hip-hop competitions, and the rapping performance of Matthew Lee.
But first, ever had problems making your home glamorous? Well, now you have help. Our own Vicky Sparks meets up with an up-and-coming Canadian interior designer, Joel Bray.
My name's Joel Bray. I'm 26 years old and I'm a designer and stylist. I started on the path to design when I was a kid, I guess, just falling in love with design magazines. I then went to Laurier and did a Bachelor of Arts, specialized in fine arts and history. Finished that and then went off to Humber College and did only a short stint there in an interior design program. Never technically finished my design degree, but at the same time, I feel qualified enough, so I'm pushing through. I started off as an intern at a national magazine and kind of learned quickly, I guess, on that job. It was a lot of schlepping, but also learned from some really, really talented people. I spent 3 years there and was able to kind of move up the rungs quickly thanks to maternity leaves and myself not having a child. Media and design kind of go hand in hand in a lot of ways. So I was introduced to a woman who works in television and kind of got into a show on HGTV, which I just finished wrapping. It's not actually going to air until the spring of next year. So the talk show I'm working on now is called The Stephen and Chris Show, and it airs on CBC. It's a lifestyle, design, decor show. It's kind of a mixed bag. It's just a lot of fun for the viewers, and as a participant, I guess I've only filmed 2 segments now. It's been a great experience. They've been smaller scale makeovers so far. The talk show, it's a bit different because it's filmed in segments. I often will film the before piece, followed by an after field piece, and then we actually do the in-studio piece. In-studio is a bit different because it's filmed live to tape, which is a totally new experience, like a live audience and these giant cameras with people with earbuds and teleprompters, and it's dizzying compared to the show I was on previously, which was called Summer Homes, and it's filmed in cottage country, and most of our time was spent on the ends of docks and canoeing, so just totally different worlds, but it's been a great experience so far. What I like most about working in the magazine design industry is the production on set. Really, it's about creating this totally artistic moment that's just captured with one flash, and then you can stare at it for a lifetime. That sounds super cheesy, but to me it's more of an art form. It's just the finicky movements of one small piece of furniture and the slight adjustment to the flowers, and then it's perfect, and it will be like that forever. What I like about television is the exact opposite, that it's just this flash of an actual lifestyle, or you're seeing all corners of a room instead of just one moment. So they're really 2 extremes, but I do love them both for the opposite. For my future in the design world, it's hard to say exactly. Like, I'm just kind of beginning on the television side of things, and I really do enjoy it. It's the pace that I could see myself growing tired of one day. But at the same time, I do love it. Magazines, I guess, is where my heart is, because that's where I began in this industry, and that's where a lot of my contacts and friends still work. So I can definitely see myself dabbling in that still. I hope to work there freelance in the next few months. But I really think for me to be totally happy in the design world, I do want to kind of have a hand in both pots, and with the addition of some private clients on the side, it's just that mix that kind of makes for an enjoyable career, really.
Thanks, Vicky, and good luck to Joel. Next, we all know that music is the language of romance, and our next story is no different. We have our Eric Weber interviewing 2 Irish piano composers and their story on how they end up together. Take it away, Eric.
So after moving to Canada, I got involved in the Irish music scene in Canada, in Toronto. Probably through my sister-in-law, Aden. She's already here a couple of years and actually was gigging with a band, and I just joined and we took it from there.
When I came to Toronto first, so going back to stuff that I had done before that brought me to where I could probably say I would be today in what I do, is I got involved in theatre with the Toronto Irish Players. And then I was very lucky to land myself an audition with a very renowned Canadian theatre company. And I got a pretty big part in a show called A Little Night Music, which is a major musical production. And it plays on Broadway. Catherine Zeta-Jones is in it on Broadway. It plays in London, and I did it here.
And that way you get to know a lot of people in the Irish community. They see that you play piano, and then all of a sudden they start, oh, can you play here, can you play there? And it just kind of grows and grows.
From there, we started gigging at Irish functions, at a lot of Irish community situations, and so we regularly gig in Toronto now ever since.
From here, after being here 17 years, I'm still trying to make music a full-time career. It's difficult. You gotta make some money, but it hasn't stopped yet. So I love what I do, and I get paid to do it.
Thank you, Eric, for that lovely educational piece there. Next, ever wondered what this campus has to offer? Shimon Nelson digs deep to find out what you might not know about the CCC.
Welcome to Centennial College's CCC campus, the Center for Creative Communications. This school offers communications, media, and design industry-recognized and applied post-secondary and postgraduate programs in broadcast and film, of course, fine art, journalism, and digital animation. These are just some of the courses offered at this school, but these are the major programs here at this campus.
My name's Chris Terry, and I teach documentary production and editing and camera work at Centennial College. I'm also one of two coordinators of the program, which is about 175 students that we have.
Hi, my name's David McClimate. I'm a professor and coordinator of the Fine Arts Studio program. In my other life, I am an artist, painter, been showing professionally for about 30 years.
Fine Art Studio is a challenging, intimate, and immersion-based program that focuses on drawing, painting, and sculpting media. In this unique program, you'll be inspired by the masters, but you'll also find your own voice.
I'm Steve Kogan, and I'm the coordinator of the 3-year undergraduate journalism program here at the East York campus and the 2-year postgraduate program, also known as the Fast Track program. I came to Centennial part-time, teaching in what was then called the radio television program, teaching broadcast news in 1987.
Centennial College's 3-year journalism program is designed for high school graduates. It will prepare you for a new career by taking you from the classroom to the newsroom.
That are really, very specifically designed to kind of help every student to kind of go through all, not all, there's a lot of different forms we can't cover. It just there isn't enough time, but we try to get through, everything from live TV studio production to single camera documentary stuff to bigger dramatic feature film style productions. And really, the idea is that, by doing all these gradually larger and larger and larger productions, by the end of it, you should feel comfortable, that you could work on a larger production. Really the aim here is to make you functional. So if you can walk out of here, whether it's, understanding enough about radio that you could go work in a radio studio, to enough about TV studio production that you could, walk into a TV studio and be functional. And we've got lots of success stories that demonstrate that.
My experience has been that the students that come here are very special people, and they are hand-picked to come into the program, and they're interest in us is twofold. One is the smallness of the program, lots of one-on-one attention, and the fact that we encourage them to develop their own visual voice. So they get lots of skills, they get lots of training, they get lots of exposure, for example, to the professional world, chances to show all of that stuff. But what really is important is that we provide them with, I would say, a nurturing environment so they can build their confidence to walk out of here and hit home runs when they get out into the professional world. When I went to art college, there was no such thing as professional development or professional practices. And I know that a lot of artists get discouraged very, very quickly as they leave a supportive environment like Centennial College. They go out into the real world and all of this, and who cares? And so we prepare them as well as we possibly can in terms of what they can expect. In terms of exhibitions, well, we have some galleries here within the school that I encourage students to show on a regular basis, but beyond that, I want them out there in the real world.
Newspaper journalism, magazine journalism, radio news, television news, and of course, news on the web. And we think that this gives them a real advantage. We think, first of all, it allows them to professionally mature, to see where their strengths are, and to choose a line of work that is most suited to them. We also think that it gives them an advantage in the job market. If their dream job in one medium isn't open, they'll be trained to work in another medium, and that's a heck of a lot better than waiting on tables.
All these programs are offered at the Centennial College's CCC campus, the Center for Creative Communications. This school offers communications, media, and design industry-recognized and applied post-secondary and postgraduate programs. It's a place where you can have creative freedom, find the program you want to share your creative mind in, and enter the professional world prepared for success.
Thanks, Shimon. Our next piece is about the controversial topic, December 21st, 2012. Is it really the end of the world? And if so, are you prepared? Alicia Watts gets your thoughts. She's going to come to you and take them.
What do these numbers mean to you? For some, it's the start of the winter season, shorter days and longer nights. For others, it's the time to shop till you drop and over-decorate your house. But could next year be our last year to do that? Some people believe, according to the Mayan calendar that ends on December 12th, 2012, that the world is going to end. Will it be an earthquake, a tsunami, a giant asteroid? Will volcanoes erupt? Or will nuclear bombs go off, causing the earth to, well, you get the picture. But I really wanted to know what people thought about this. So I went around, asking the simple question. Do you believe in 2012?
Absolutely not.
No, I don't believe that the world's going to end in 2012.
Not really.
No, I don't think it's going to happen.
No, I do not.
I don't believe in 2012.
No, there's been people predicting the end of the world since the world began, and I think it's all hogwash. If I really believe I was going to die in what, like year and something right now, I'd be
a year in this month.
I'd be panicking. I'd be robbing banks, be killing people I don't like for a second, because I'm like, oh, I'm dead anyway, right? Why not kill, half our class, as an example, right? No, I don't. Like, not for a split second.
I think that the Mayans probably predicted the end of an empire, because every empire sometime has to fall. I mean, there's been the Romans, the Greeks, the Egyptians. So I think what they're predicting is the end of the Chinese Empire. I'm joking. I don't know what empire, but they're predicting the end of one probably.
Like, I know it's all about the whole Mayan calendar thing. So what if the Mayans just ran out of space on that circle to use, right? So I don't really believe in it. Like, if something does happen, I'm not even that concerned.
But there might be a possibility. But I'm not going to be running to the grocery store and buying 5 packs of water and stuff like that. It is a possibility, but I doubt it.
I don't think it's going to happen because I don't think humans can predict the end of time. I do believe that humans do possess certain abilities to maybe foresee stuff. I do believe in some psychic mediums, but to predict the death of an entire species, I don't think one man or one woman or even groups of people, as like the Mayans supposedly did, who ironically enough couldn't even foresee their own extinction at the hands of themselves, sacrificing each other for absolutely no good reason.
I think it's gonna be Y2K all over again. Everyone's gonna get all hyped up, and people are gonna, buy food rations and stock their basements, and then it's gonna blow over, and everyone's like, oh well.
Yes and no.
Explain.
I believed it was correct that they used the whole theory that, but they said 2012, but I think it's off, and I think we're off in the calendar years anyhow, and I think 2012 is supposed to happen a lot later, maybe instead of 2012, it probably could be 3012.
Okay, so there's a high probability that it's not going to happen. But if it did, what would you do in your final days?
That'd be pretty simple. I'd just gather up my family probably and try to head to somewhere peaceful just to spend time, especially and specifically with them, and enjoying the love and company of family.
People don't understand, I'm associated with the Somali pirates, so I need to get my own boats, rob some ships that are dumping toxic waste into my waters back home. So I need to help my homeboys out.
If it did end, I'd probably try and bang as many girls as I can. Try and pass Will Chamberlain.
I'd probably just make things a little bit more worthwhile. So if I'm with friends or something like that, I'll probably stay extra a little bit longer just to tell them everything that I'd want them to know before everything finishes.
Maybe go bungee jumping or something, but those all cost you need to pay for that stuff, and but then again, I guess if I'm dead in a week, I don't really need money, so then I would just blow everything. I'd be like, Mom, give me your credit card.
A possible post-apocalyptic world, I guess I'm gonna have to go for the basic minimum. So as long as I have a nice warm place, possibly a drink in hand, maybe a cigarette, maybe some of the wacky tobacco that Clinton says he never inhaled, some of that stuff I'm gonna need.
I think I would go skydiving, because I've always been terrified to do that in case I died. So at that point, it wouldn't really matter. So I would do maybe something crazy like that.
To go to Europe, see the world, and try to have a lot of fun before we all end. Yeah, I wouldn't try to sleep with a lot of people because I don't want to die a lot quicker.
Not surprisingly, people aren't too worried about this new apocalypse. In fact, most people think it's another
Y2K.
But since we can't truly know when the world will cease to exist, at least we have enough time to make a bucket list.
Thanks, Alicia. Next, we have Hans Gruber. No, not the villain from Die Hard, although that would be awesome, but the German sensation rock band. Our Jordan Randall has more.
My name's Brian Toomer. I sing and I play guitar in the band Hans Gruber. Music started for me at a pretty young age. My parents bought me a Les Paul Studio when I was about 5 years old. So I guess I've been playing guitar ever since then. I used to play bass in a band called The Obscene Bastards. We played for a couple of years, and before we went our separate ways. The whole experience actually really set a standard for me in terms of playing punk rock music. I've done many numerous things with my life. Besides that, I learned how to skateboard. I starred in a music video, actually, for another punk rock band called the Suicide Pilots a couple years back. The video wasn't a great success, but it was a pretty fun experience. Another very crucial element to the band, of course, is the drums. My bandmate Raymond, he plays the drums. Basically, he asked me to join the band. He made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. I joined the band, hung out with him for a while. We started writing songs. He actually asked me if I wanted to move in with him. At the time, I didn't actually have a place to stay, so I moved in with him. I currently still am rooming with him. I'm sure you're familiar with the phrase, living in someone else's shadow. Well, I currently live in Ray's closet. We recently did a few shows in Germany, and there was a really great response from all the people there, especially towards me. They seemed to really like the kind of, I don't know, the stuff I brought to the table, you know?
Ein Neurinom, mir ist jetzt ein Neurinom gewesen. Wir nennen das auch Hirntumor, eine gutartige Struktur an einer schlechten Lage. Und die Transparenz, die hat man mir nicht vermittelt. Das wünschen wir ja immer, dass man so Informationen bekommt. Ich habe mich dann über den radiologischen Bericht informiert und habe den auch bekommen.
And it's great. I've kind of achieved like a cult status over there.
He performed in German, a song in German. It's called Du. Translated, it's you.
Mir, wofür sie leben konnte. Sie hat einen Stroke gehabt und konnte gar nicht mehr reden.
It's nice though to get that kind of response, you know, every now and again. We sure as hell get our fair share of negative criticisms as well. Just like any other band, really.
Blow his fucking head off.
It's terrible. It's so bad.
This is like the lowest form of screamo rock I ever seen. Hell, it's new age retard screamo, basically.
So, yeah, for now we're just gonna keep on doing what we do, and just gonna keep on rocking. Keep on rocking.
Don't you fucking tell me that you think you're
Next, Matt White brings us Behind the World of Broken Pencil magazine, a magazine that focuses on the arts and zines. Take it, Matt White.
So I'm Lindsay Gibb, editor of Broken Pencil magazine. Broken Pencil is a magazine about independent arts and culture. So it's about zines, small press books, anything that people kind of make themselves. A zine, it's like a small magazine. People just cut and paste things and sort of put it together and photocopy it. Broken Pencil started in 1995, and it was started by Hal Miedzwiecki, and he's an author and a journalist, and he, I guess, decided that saw that there's, all these zines that existed, and so it was kind of a guide to zines in a way. Since then, it's kind of evolved. It became more about art and more about, like, people making things, DIY, that whole thing. Because a lot of things have gone online, magazines have gone online. And I think that in terms of how that affects Broken Pencil as a print magazine, I think that because our audience is people who are interested in zines or making zines themselves, they're kind of people who are into physical objects, the printed word, I guess. And so they still want to have like a physical copy of Broken Pencil. So yeah, we find that we get a lot of people still buying it and subscribing, and I can't really And maybe one day it'll be a fully online entity, but I can't really picture that.
Next, Stephen Morris brings us on a journey to find a psychic to tell him his future. As you will see, it's harder than you think.
Call me now, Miss Cleo. All Centennial students get a free tarot card reading.
As a Centennial student, an assignment came up where I was to interview, believe it or not, a psychic. So first things first, I gotta find a psychic. So I went driving around, and as I was driving around for a little bit, lo and behold, wouldn't you know it, there it was. Almost serendipitous, if you will. The first psychic I approached didn't want to have anything to do with me, so I decided to go the paper route.
I just saw an ad in the paper for a psychic reading. Okay. Is there a better time that maybe I could get a hold of you if you're busy, or? I mean, oh, okay. You're busy now. Is there a better time, another time, or?
Access denied.
We're gonna go for the House of Mr. Miracles, Mr. Amin. Oh, you're busy? Okay, no problem. All right, bye-bye.
Access denied.
See, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I should go in person.
In order to peer into the soul, metaphorically speaking, I went there in person. All the so-called prophets I had asked, either by phone or in person, denied me as if I had leprosy. It was at that point that I decided to ask random people if they themselves believed in psychics.
Yes. I mean, no.
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 Yeah, totally. I love them. You know, I'm a single guy, so I don't really find the time to cook like a full meal. It's a quick fix. It's easy. It's good.
I think you mean that's sidekicks. I'm talking about psychics.
Psychics?
Yeah.
That's exactly it. They think I'm going to expose them or make them look bad. It's funny, but if they were really legitimate, you'd think they'd see this coming and they would welcome it. Apparently not.
Better luck next time, Stefan. Next, ever had a problem fixing a musical instrument, especially something as fragile as a guitar? We got Ramy Arida giving us a personal lesson on stringing.
Loosen all your old strings until they're completely slack. This will prevent the strings from snapping and slicing your hands or face when you cut them. With a pair of pliers or wire cutters, snip the strings near the headstock of your guitar. Unwind and remove any leftover coils of string. Be careful, they can be sharp. On semi-hollow body guitars like this, the bottom portion of the strings can be pushed out through a row of holes under the Bigsby. On solid body guitars, the holes are usually on the back.
Okay.
Make sure you wrap your old strings into a neat loop. The ends are very sharp and can prick you worse than any thorn. Now you're ready for a new set of strings. The strings are ordered from thickest to thinnest, the highest number being the thickest string. The strings are ordered from thickest to thinnest, the highest number being the thickest string. Other string brands use a color coordination system to tell you which string is which. We'll start with the thickest, the low E, which always goes closest to your face. String it up through the appropriate hole, and make sure it's resting in the appropriate grooves on the bridge and nut. Thread the string through the proper hole in the tuning heads. The closest to you is always thickest, getting thinner as we move out. Leave a little bit of slack. Crank the tuning key, tightening the string. Keep tuning it until the string goes taut. This can take a little bit of time, but you can buy a string winder if you're really in a hurry. Repeat that process for every string, always making sure the string you've laid down is in the proper grooves and going through the right holes in the tuning heads. Well, all your strings are on now, but you've got all these pesky loose ends which can poke someone's eye out. Don't let it be you. Definitely make sure to snip these. Once they're snipped, you can bend the sharp edges downwards to prevent them from cutting you later. This is more dangerous than you thought, right? Anyway, that's it. A tuned guitar. Have a good night.
That was interesting. Next, Michael Stoddart will be showing us the moves on the dance floor with Ouch, a local hip-hop competition. Take it away, Mike.
Police. Yeah. I got scared for a second. Oh, what? Alright, so, how you guys feel about Durham UOI2?
What is your part in the Ouch 2011?
Well, as of now, I'm in charge of the sponsorship and booking acts and getting this stuff organized and participating in Ouch, right? So actually being in Ouch, like competing in it, and at the same time making sure all the acts come in, making sure all the booking's done, making sure we get all as much sponsorship we possibly can get to make this like the biggest event that's ever happened in Durham. I'm using a lot of my connections to gather around these people. Like I've used some of my Geek Freaks and stuff to get in contact with some of the performers who are coming out as well. So it's a lot of going out of your way to find the people's contact and calling them up or talking to management and stuff like that. But it's more based on, depending on how big the actual artist is, you know what I mean? Like it'll be a different process than getting someone, right? Especially someone who's overseas in comparison to someone from Toronto or Vancouver, right? We definitely wanted this year to be all elements of hip-hop because that's what HCR stands for, right? We're not just a dance company, we do deal with MCing, graffiti, and DJing, right? So we wanted to mix it up with kind of different elements of hip-hop. So whether it's like beatboxing, there's gonna be some graffiti art, there's gonna be some MCs, there's gonna be a mix of stuff.
How does that take place? How would the run through be?
So pretty much a crew goes up, they do their set, the judges are judging them as they go kind of thing, and then when everything is all over and done with, the judges will go in a room by themselves and they'll be asked like, hey guys, who do you think should win? And then they'll kind of go over who they thought was memorable and stuff, and then look back at the scores, and then finally as a united front will say who they feel should win.
So with your choreography, how do you guys feel about that for this year's competition?
I'm excited. It's a different level that it was from last year, so it's a lot more work, but I feel like it's a lot better as well, so it's harder. Because last year, the routine was really catered towards the dancers, whereas this year we have to adapt to the routine. So it's a very different feel than how it was last year. So it's completely different. Because last year it was like really easy because this is like the choreography was made for us. Whereas this year it's like the choreography was made, and it's on such a higher level. So it's like we need to be on that level of the choreography rather than the choreography being on our level.
Okay. And how would the freestyle competition work in the second part of the?
In the second part of the show, what's going to happen is participating members of Ouch will be able to send one person from each school, and they'll do like a preliminary round kind of thing, right? Just before the show starts, and then one of the judges who will be judging the freestyle comp, like backstage, will pick the top 5 schools, and then they'll get to showcase their artwork and their skills in front of the whole crowd, and the crowd decides who wins.
You guys ready for the 2011 champion? Are you ready for the 2011 champion? It starts with a D, ends with F. We are in the hole right now.
Thanks, Mike, for that piece on Ouch. And speaking of which, our next piece brings us a whole new meaning to being beat up by a girl. Terence Chow brings us a story about 2 Taekwondo sisters and their Olympic dream.
This Taekwondo dojo in Brantford, Ontario, behind the traditions and awards, is a family of black belt champions. More specifically, 2 sisters, Julie and Lorraine too.
When me and my sister were growing up, we kind of tried a lot of different sports. And then my dad actually did Taekwondo, and we tried a class with him. And we stuck with it, we liked it, we were good at it, it was fun. So up until now, we've continued doing Taekwondo, and we really love it. That's what me and my sister do. We always just, when we get into the ring, we just have fun. It doesn't matter win or lose. It's all about the fun.
Not only have the sisters been having fun, but they have been dominating, even both getting Athlete of the Week honors back-to-back in 2007. Back then, both had the dream of competing in the 2012 Olympics, but after 5 years, where do they stand now?
When you're young, that's your dream, right? And your age getting older, schools-wise, so it's kind of hard for any athlete that you want to be good in school and good in sport both at the same time, so it's kind of hard.
Taekwondo is a very stressful sport in terms of like losing weight to make your weight class, and then I have the pressure of my dad owning the school, and so I'd like to bring out a name for our club, so I would try to go out there and compete and do as well as I can and be successful as I can. So it's not only just the pressure of making a name for ourselves, but also winning something and meaning something.
Now at age 22, Julie coaches. But every now and then, she misses competing as she watches her students fight.
It's hard for me because I've actually been off of Taekwondo for about 3 years. I haven't competed at all, and it's hard to balance. What I found that is I've been able to prioritize my daily activities and stuff, but things have changed, and I feel that I could progress and try in the next, the following 4 years if I wanted to, but right now I have my goals set out, and I would like to go to grad school, and I would like to continue on and be successful, but right now I've actually really been focusing on university and helping my dad with Taekwondo in the school and helping the club grow.
However, she does plan to return and prepare for the 2016 Olympics. She already has a coach in mind. Who else but her sister, Lorraine?
I always build her up on her endurance and stamina training, and then I focus on her power and speed for her kicking. But it's not really about physical preparation, it's also mental as well. So you can be physically prepared all you want, but if you're not mentally prepared as well, it definitely makes a big difference. So I try, as a coach, I try to physically and mentally prep my athletes before competition.
So, will we see Julie in the Olympics in 2016? Guess we'll have to wait and see. For the Journal, I'm Terence Chow, Brantford, Ontario.
Before we bring this year to an end, we have Matt Lee with his solo rap performance. From all of us here, we wish you a happy holidays and a happy new year. Take it away, Matt.
Let's do this. Yo, everybody get back here. Pull up. Where we start that track. Pull it back. Turn it up. Yo, how's everybody doing out there? Hey. Highlight real, cause I got the rhyming skill. My beat got that kind of feel. I make you wanna vibe at will. It's time to chill. This here is what I'm trying to build. I'm ill enough to climb Silent Hill and fight my way through it, trying to find a mill. I'll go face to face with the lion's grill. Thump like an 808 to make it Irish swell. I'm for real. And if you at that level, I pull these strings for you like rap Geppetto. But if you're throwing stones and casting pebbles, we scrap rebels and clap the metal. Now that's settled, I'm fiending for mixed chicks whose half is ghetto. Weeded up thin, having tats and tenfold. Eyes with the colors that match pimentos. They Wiz Khalifa girls cause they black and yellow. I'ma stand out, I don't need a handout. I act like everywhere is my damn house to stand out. There's nothing you can't about. All things I need, getting my damn self to stand out. There's nothing you can't help but trendsetter, and never a man down to stand out. There's nothing you can't help. Ask around to get caught with your pants down. Look at this LaFlyish coach got. I've grown up. T-Dot's the home front. Roll up like Timmy's on my locally known buzz. I'm Carter in the Phillies. I'm hitting a home run. You know what? This is Shogun to Shona. I'm a wild style. You brothers get cold crushed. I used to get riled as a kid on Coronas. On a warm buzz, not giving my throne up. Went from hard luck, from being seen as awestruck, starstruck, persona-sized large truck. Stocks up plus my getting marked up, getting's good since my start from Markham. And God's trust for me if he's got some, if not such. Maybe when I'm gone, done, long run. Matt Lee is the unsung, blunt up, inch of ash in one puff. Stand out, I don't need a handout. I act like everywhere is my damn house to stand out. There's nothing you can't help. All things I need, I could get in my damn self and stand out. There's nothing you can't help. A trendsetter, and never a man down to stand out. There's nothing you can't help. Ask around to get caught with your pants down. He's back, Lee's rap. He who feeds tracks between two ET. He's through weed packs. Believe that Lee's crack is true that I set it off. I'm 2 steps ahead of y'all. See the beat flat. I speak that mean rap. Back to meat racks. T-smash beast that peeps in rehab. Then rehab, relapse. Then they see Matt. Get cheese that. See that the ancients being back upon the savages. Hammers, clips, cannons, grips. Abandoned ships, abandoned ends. Nah, cherish Tims and careless sins. Yo, dreams like on like Nick Kerrigan's. From being up all night with various chicks of various skins. Somewhere I'm buried within. I swear to win. So I'm buried, let's hear it again. Yo, let's hear it, let's go and hear it again. Stand out, I don't need a handout. I act like everywhere is my damn